Welcome back to Adult Play Therapy Uncensored. I'm your host, the original John 20.
This is Jerry P.
And today we are back in the beautiful Cedar Hill, Texas, in Hooters, guys. Our sponsor, they take care of us. We love it here, you know what I'm saying? We are happy that they have us. But today we are bringing to you a very special young woman, okay? Her name is Charlotte Watson Allen.
Hi, how are you?
Go ahead, tell us about yourself.
I am Dr. Charlotte Watson Allen. I am a licensed psychologist as well as an educator, speaker, and an author.
Look at that. So I told you guys we had a very special young woman on the show. You know, we have a doctor in the house, you know what I'm saying? And she's going to make sure that we give y'all facts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic.
Let's do it.
Topic is, what does submission look like to today's boss lady in a woman's role? So how can a woman of boss status prepare herself, set herself up, or situate herself to be submissive to a man when she is the queen, not only in her castle, but in the world?
In the workplace.
In the workplace.
Come on now.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got Barack and we got, you know what I'm saying, the old first lady, you know what I'm saying, Miss Michelle Obama. I would love to be able to sit down and ask Michelle Obama, what did submission look like to you, to your husband? Did it change any? Because, I mean, we love Barack, don't get me wrong, but we really love Michelle.
Yeah, we did, man. I think who you might want to ask is Hillary Clinton.
Oh, Jesus, that's it.
That's good. She ain't submitting the shit. I'm sorry, but, you know,
you're right, though.
Keep it PG, PG-21.
Well, you definitely have to have a very strong male.
Okay.
Yeah.
A strong woman has to have a strong male, as one of the things I say in the book, or they take their balls.
Okay, come on. I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay, because you said a really strong male.
Like a Stedman.
Okay, but hold on. And the reason I want to challenge that is only because it's like, is it necessary?
Yes.
Why can't we just have an understanding? Do I have to always walk around with my chest out?
No. And that's not what I'm saying when I say a strong man. They don't have to be dogmatic. They don't have to, walk around. But you can tell that they're an alpha male. Okay. They're not going to be the man that lets you pull out a table. They're not going to be the man that will just sit at home playing video games while she's out working. They're not going to be the guy that lets her make all the decisions. No, we're going to do this together. He's going to make sure that there are some boundaries in place. Women who are yoked to a male who is not an alpha male will tend to overpower him.
Right.
And so then it becomes that male will kind of step back a little bit and become very passive because her voice is louder.
Got it. That's true. But we already have to deal with that now because we do have a woman that's in the boss place, in the boss position, and she already knows her worth and her value. Does that affect how she finds a man? Does that affect what man she finds?
It should.
But the reason I'm saying is because now you're saying she needs an alpha male, but in my history with women, a woman that is an alpha really don't want to be challenged. She doesn't want to be dominated. You see what I'm saying? So is she wrong for that? Because I would rather find me a weak man that I can continue to be who I am, not only in the workplace, but also at my home and be peaceful.
But I think women, they may exude that, but a woman wants to be controlled. Not controlled.
Okay.
But
All
a
right.
woman wants to be, up under some real power.
I would think
leadership,
so.
Absolutely.
Leadership.
Okay, but look at it like this. Okay, because I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So then, do we take that and do we equivalate that to these young ladies today? Because we always talk about dating, okay, and this is about dating, and we always talk about how women are not in tune with the nice guy. They all want the jerk, the asshole in some way. So now if I'm a boss lady and I got the nice guy, the guy who knows how to meet me halfway, is she going to totally respect him? But you said alpha male, and these days and times, women have not yet deciphered what an alpha male to an asshole look like.
Right.
That's true.
But it's kind of, and I think we talked about this on my show, every man wants a little bit of hoe in their woman.
That's true.
No more than most women want a little bit of gangster in their man.
Okay, I like that.
See that, no one's ever said it like that.
Yeah, they want want to
Well,
look,
respect
and
it.
because I need to know if we're
If something
walking
go
down the
down,
street and
you
something go
protect me.
down,
Yeah, yeah.
you got me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, no one's ever said it like that. That's why you look
Yeah, we just,
I got you.
it's
But
true.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that.
But yeah,
Thank you.
from my experience, what I've found is a lot of women who are, you know, strong-willed or, you know, alpha ladies or whatever, it always came with some kind of trauma. Like they always felt like they had to do that because of, you know, somebody leaving them in the past or somebody, you know, abandonment issues. Or,
That we go
you know,
back to hurting people, hurt
Yeah,
people.
man.
And so if we as women never deal with the trauma that we've
Yeah.
gone through, then that's what hurts the man.
Yeah.
That's what, so he can't be in the God-given role that he's supposed to be in
Because
yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
And you know,
absolutely.
I spoke to you about this before. We talked about love, relationships, and what have you, Jay.
Yeah.
My example of that is a woman who, she was a lawyer. Her husband was a doctor, and they had gotten a divorce. And, you know, I had kind of fell into a Jada Pinkett entanglement with this young woman.
Oh,
They were divorced though, but I was in a position with this young lady, and I was trying to get to know her. You know, she was slightly older, very attractive young woman. But me spending some time with her, she, being a boss lady, I feel like I'm a boss man myself. A little bit younger though, she wanted to control me in an instance. Like she took herself out of the submissive role. I feel like that she played with her husband because he was such a dominant man, and she wanted to play his role with me. We're together. I'm getting out of bed. I got to go home. I got kids. I got work.
Yeah.
I got things I got to do. I got to run, my company. And she was like, "Well, baby, let me pay for your day. I want you to stay here with me." And I'm like, "I can't do that. I'll come back later on." But she wanted to stay in the bed in the nice little loft downtown that was very lovely. But I'm like, I still have things to do.
Yeah.
So buying my time was her power play in order to get my attention.
Manipulation.
Not only did she go there, but she even said, "You're still trying to buy a new truck, right?" Because I was buying my tile. She's
Yeah.
like, "Well, my husband still has an account over there in Cadillac. Let's just go to Cadillac and get you what you want."
Nah, no thank you, man.
So I'm just saying, it's hard to pull a woman out of that power role when she's in that power role, and she's dealing with a man like myself who's like, "I don't want to be boss." I mean, today I was like, "God, dog, I should have went in on." Boy, I should have
Tell
took
the
the call.
truth, say the
Yes,
devil.
I ain't gonna lie.
Should've got that soul.
If in fact
For
she
real.
has issues within herself, she has a hard time coming out of that position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make decisions all day long. But when I come home, I am glad to let him.
Get away to somebody else, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
What
I
about
am
what
so
about comfort
glad.
and fear? Well, we've talked about that too on the show, on your show. Comfort and fear. She's a boss lady. She's comfortable in her position because she knows everything is going to work the way she wants it to work. So it's hard for her to be submissive when she knows if I'm submissive and they mess up what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? What about comfort?
It depends on who you're listening to. Because if your man is listening to God the Father, then hey, it all flows down in line.
Gotcha.
So I'm putting my trust not in that man, but I'm putting my trust in God. God is my source. Everything else, including the husband, is a resource.
I like it. Okay.
That sounds good.
It does sound good.
And it doesn't
You know what I'm
work that
saying?
way all
No,
the time.
yeah, really.
But that person has to be, it's their mindset.
Yeah.
They have to make the decision.
That's true.
They have to decide. I'm not going to challenge that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Why am I worried about this? If he said he got it, why am I worried about that? I can be worried about something else over here.
Yeah.
So now we're educating. I get it. We're educated.
We are.
But not in
We are.
reality. We see the housewives, like you say, they're
Yeah.
actually in boss positions because they're owning themselves as a person on a reality show. Their person is money. People want them to make appearances, this, that, and third. We see one of the most famous ones, Nene Leakes. When Nene Leakes was with her husband before he passed away, she really dogged him, man, in my opinion.
No.
In my opinion. She did not treat him the way I felt like a woman should treat a man. And he wasn't a pushover or a punk. They had some arguments, but it's like she was so dominant as a woman.
Man, it's like she treated him like the way you're supposed to treat a trick, though. And that's what he was. That's what he was. Regardless of, if he loved her, if he ended up loving her, that's one thing, but man, you can't love somebody like that. You gotta know that. You can't love. You still don't love.
So y'all have to forgive me because I don't watch television like that.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't watch it neither. I don't even watch that show. It's just she's such a
She's
dominant
a big social
person. Yeah,
Okay.
and me when I do my research and I look at things, she was one of the more dominant women that would pull up. I'd go over there at my mom's house and sit down and be like, "Who's this person? Who's that?" And they would tell me. To this day, I really could name but two, if I tried.
The Reader's Digest version is Nene Leakes used to be a stripper back in the day, way back in the day.
Okay.
And this dude came along. He had bread, older guy. He was much older than me. So he gave her this lifestyle. It was well off. And she
Very
became
lavish.
like very lavish. She became like this, very loquacious reality star.
Okay.
He ended
Start
up
making her own money on top of his.
Okay.
And he was on the show making checks too, but she was making serious. Like she was the highest paid.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said, I know about it. She was the highest paid housewife.
Deals.
Yeah,
So
housewife
she was
on the show.
And along the way, he started getting sick, and he ended up passing away. Like a month later, she was out with somebody else. Like
But she was doing that while they were together. Remember, they did a split, and she was with one of the football players.
But you just said that there was a huge gap in their age difference.
That's a factor. Is it a factor?
Absolutely.
Good question.
Oh,
Hold on.
I
Let's
didn't
not
know
say
that.
that. Hold on. My grandfather was 20 years older than my grandmother,
Those
and
were the
not
times.
one.
Grandfather.
Those are the times.
And not one time did my grandmother.
Grandfather.
And hold on, but my grandmother was a power player in the household. She was the one. But one thing she never did was talk against Glenn Mills.
Absolutely.
Hey, my grandfather was an
Absolutely.
educator, blind, but hey, when he stood up.
And no matter what he did, she wasn't going to allow anybody to talk bad against him.
Right.
Because that's your daddy. That's your
grandfather.
grandfather.
A lot of respect for him.
Absolutely.
High
Regardless of what he did.
But is that respect though?
As they were back in those days, the culture, with grandparents, the grandparents and big mama, big daddy, because I just feel like women today, they're not going to be as submissive as they used to be back then. Like, a woman today ain't finna sit here and have dinner ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't finna tell me when you get home, dinner's going to be cooked. But back then, women being as strong as they were back then, they knew that being strong was taking care of the house.
Yeah.
They knew that being a boss lady, and they're not working Fortune 500 companies like women are working today, but they knew my household had to present itself a certain way in a certain light.
Right.
So when my husband came home, there was dinner ready on the table.
Yeah.
The kids was in order.
I mean, because back then the household was a reflection of y'all.
Yeah.
That was a reflection of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even down from basic necessities like. Every Saturday morning, what we doing? We cleaning up.
Right.
Because we washing laundry. We do, everything, vacuum and everything. Had dinner ready and all that kind of stuff because, even back then, a woman's kitchen was her doctor's office. That's what she sent the family out into the world. Just.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Because, but now, back then they just kind of kept the main thing.
Right.
And their main responsibility was take care of the home. However that looked. Regardless of what was going on, this got to be done.
Right.
Right now, I mean, I think just with the difference of times, financially, women have kind of risen above us in a lot of different ways, and it's just different, bro. Their main focus, their main responsibility is lost.
So let's look at this, because we're on this topic. Let's look at the movies. Okay, you say you don't watch a lot of TV. Have you seen Think Like a Man?
I did.
Okay,
I did see
so
that.
in Think Like a Man, Taraji P. Henson's role was she was the boss lady. And she found
Michael Ealy.
And he was just a simple cook. Although he was a gentleman and he pulled up in somebody else's vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Which really
man. Come on now.
Right, but pulled up in another man's car and he couldn't operate, caught her attention. Look at how the behavior, look at how her, because she was a power player and he was trying to get up and come. Look at how she played him. I feel like a lot of women look at that. But she had so much more respect for the Morris Chestnut, the power man. Like you say, most women want an alpha man.
Right.
But in that position, she felt like she was underheard, overpowered, underappreciated possibly, because, a power man is going to radiate pride.
Right.
So if you're a power woman, don't you want to mirror, should I say? Don't you want to mirror what you're what you're competing against? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of those women, they mirror that man. So it's like, you're not going to take a simple man like myself. I don't make, $500,000 a year.
Man.
But it's not about the money.
But a lot of times it is, because that's what makes those people power people.
Right. And I got that.
Their resources, not their inside, their
Right.
outside.
Right.
What they
Right,
show,
right.
what they can do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a man winning the lottery. We talked about this.
Yeah.
What does a man do when he win the lottery? Okay, I'm struggling. I'm in the hood with this hood woman. I'm doing good. Or a football player. Yo, I done grew up with Shaniqua all this time. But now I got this $400 million contract. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done got me a white woman. Because white women look like power, look like money,
Look like success.
look like success. You see what I'm saying?
And your typical black woman is not gonna put up with all your foolishness.
I agree with that, but I'm just
And
saying.
so they will.
But I'm just saying.
They will be a little bit more submissive, and they will do almost anything.
Right, but that's what I'm talking
They
about.
can be accommodating.
So what does it look
More
like for a boss woman?
Accommodating.
What is her ideal? What is her ideal partner? Because for a boss man, I guess, as a football player, because I wouldn't do that. Don't get me wrong. I love my black woman. I love my black woman too much. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, money equals equivalent to power. It's not, I'm an educated man. It's not, I'm a God-fearing man. It's, I have something to show.
And I hear you that those, and a lot of women, people, men and women,
right.
they are materialistic. And so those are the things that they're looking at.
Drawn to that. Yeah.
But many strong, powerful boss women, they're looking for that pride that man have. Even if he doesn't have what he brings, we may not have the same thing at the table, but what is his potential?
Right.
He may not be driving a BMW or a Mercedes, but does he have a poor mindset?
That is something that women look at that men don't really look at.
That is true.
Absolutely.
What you think you about to get ready to do in the future? Like,
are you a visionary?
Yeah. Build a,
that's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Build a lady.
What kind of vision do you have?
I must have a lot of feminine qualities there, because I like an ambitious woman.
You do?
Like, I don't like just a lazy, sorry woman.
Well,
I just like it's draining. It can be draining sometimes.
Just because she's not super ambitious don't mean she's lazy.
Well, I'm saying super ambitious. I'm just saying some ambition.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, baby, you know what I'm saying? If I grow my hair out, can I get a quick braid or something? You know what I'm saying? Can you Hey, you know what I hear? I don't know how to braid. You a woman? How do you not know how to braid? Did you not play with dolls when you was a kid?
No.
My mama didn't braid my hair. I went to the beauty salon. Women these days don't know how to cook, braid hair, wash dishes, mop a floor. Like, what do you know how to do?
Does that bring her
Yes, to me it does.
And it should.
And you know what I do? I find myself with a new project. Now I'm trying to create. I'm raising a dog. You know what I'm saying?
And there you go. And so that's why. So when the roles are flipped, that's why when he does get the money, he goes to find something, because he's been mothered all of this time. He don't want a mama.
He want another mama.
There you go.
So he don't want to be the mama. He wants the mama. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So that's.
Jody, my Jody.
Yo.
Baby boy. I know you said baby boy, huh? But no, okay. Y'all know what I'm talking about out there.
Okay, well, put it like this. Okay, so then let's go to our lists. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, I'm gonna give a list of what I feel like a boss woman look like to me. I feel like, a woman with substantial wealth, one, philanthropy. She's on the top of the philanthropy list with some of these her male partners or encounters or whatever, and a woman who pretty much runs and owns maybe something that is Fortune 500 quality. So either she was left with a lot of money and she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth, so she has a different type of culture is what I mean by number one. She has a different ethnic culture than some of us ghetto folks that were just hey, we went to public school, she went to private school, or she was homeschooled by the finest teachers. She, like I said, philanthropist. She's out there really providing something in the world, and she's making a whole lot of money, and her name is really big out there. She's an Oprah in a sense. Or let's say number three would be she builds something from the ground up, or she got an opportunity to run something that was already big and powerful. How do you find that type of individual? Or should I say, how do you describe, how do we see, how do we view, what do we think that submission in that type of individual would look like? And women, if you watching the show, which I hope you are, and you're up there Tell us what you think. I would like to hear what your man look like. I would like to know what submission in you look like. And the reason I'm saying, because okay, we got actresses. Yeah. Let's do with these actresses. Let's do with pop stars, singers. Okay. You know, women that have a lot of money who are big actresses. I've noticed if you look at their dates on the red carpet, if you ever pay attention to some of that stuff, because I do try to look at social media, they like the buff guys. You know, he's put together. You know what I'm saying? The Michael, what's it again? Michael B. Yeah, that's what they want. And he may not have nothing, do nothing, but he's fine.
And what's crazy is I don't find myself drawn to those type of women though.
Lord, you by yourself.
Yeah, I don't find myself. I find myself drawn to more the laid back kind of, you know, bosses in their own regard. Because like my wife, she's a librarian. Yeah. But she's been a branch manager for like 17 years. You know, and she's a boss at her job.
Oh, she is.
And I consider that a boss lady.
Yeah, she's like, she's educationally accredited. You know what I'm saying? And she's top tier. You know what I'm saying? She's beautiful, all that really kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
sweetheart.
She's the most regular, you know what I'm saying, like woman, and that's what kind of attracted me to her. I was like, dang, you know, most people of her status would be
nose in the air.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With a different mindset.
Right.
But that's what attracted me to her, because she got some counterparts that's not like that.
Just her natural beauty.
Yeah, just natural essence of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
absolutely.
That's what attracted me to her. So if I run into a woman like that with the, you know, with the drop top Benz and the Fortune 500 this and that, and need her, you know, hair and nails done every 3 days, and you know.
I mean, I like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my cup of tea.
I ain't paying for no bundles. I ain't doing nothing.
Listen, you ain't got to. She pay for her own, bro.
Yeah, but if I don't, you know,
she can pay for your bundles now. You gonna get you some
grams or something like that? I take it to Windsor or something like this.
Right.
Like, taking the Hooters and Cedar Hill, she'll be like, this is beneath me.
I got
you. Man, man, you know, you ain't never too good for no wings. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't find myself attracted.
Listen, I'm gonna do this. I mean, you know, because we done got to the end of this. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, it's hard. You know, I wish I had a woman on here that was. We need to get Michelle Obama on the show. And then we'll bring the doctor back and we'll sit down here and we'll talk and see what's really going on.
Bring Kamala Harris on here. I'm leaving.
That's what we really need. Because you see her, man.
Say, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why I say what I say. Look at her, man. These are women in power. Look at their counterparts. You know, I want to bring him on the show. Forget her. I'm like, bro, what role do you play? You know what I'm saying? To the vice president.
Say, man, you supposed to forget them student loans, man. That's what we need to talk about her.
Oh, man. Okay. Doc, do you have something to say? Do you want to close this subject?
I think, you know, even with him, with Kamala Harris, with the first vice president, the gentleman in waiting, it's a decision. I mean, it's a mindset, and you have to make a decision on what is going to work for you in your relationship. And everything, it's not a cookie cutter approach. So it depends on each person. When you have communicated and you have, you know, decided to, you know, compromise in some areas. So
like Oprah and Stedman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he was a weak man himself.
You weak.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I say women in those areas, they don't really submit. They don't submit well. I just, my opinion, to close it out, is I don't feel like a woman in a boss position has submission in her. I'm sorry. I'm saying it. I don't feel like it. And the reason I say that is because a normal woman, I tell a normal woman today, if you want a real man, I'm right here. But I'm not a pushover. You can't just get over on me. Yeah. But if you want a weak man, they're out there. There's all types of men out there. There's weak, there's women, there's, you know what I'm saying? There's
and
short,
some women
there's tall,
prefer
there's
that.
big.
They prefer a weak one. Absolutely.
Right. But if you want a man who's going to take care of business, who's going to be there, who's going to hold it down, who's going to be a man, you done found him right here. You know what I'm saying? God-fearing, all that. Yeah. But so my opinion, my vote is, I just don't feel like a woman in a boss position is able to submit.
Right. And I agree. I mean, I believe they can if they choose to. Right. They just have to. It's a mental decision, and we all say that that's what we want.
Exactly.
They all say that's what we want, and when we get it, because we really haven't seen it in practice, then we really don't know how to handle it. So what we don't understand, we fear.
Got you.
So
I like this.
Yeah.
Got anything, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm good, man. That's it.
Okay. Well, hey.
Stick me out on that one.
Like it. Well, thank you. That concludes another episode. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for joining us once again. You know, we are here with the wonderful, beautiful Dr. Charlotte Watson Allen. And we're going to have all the social medias at the end on the credit where you can reach out to her. You know, she has a book. Let's see the book. There we go. That's the book, y'all. Breaking Free. Find it on Amazon. Go order it. Okay? Social media, like I said, at the credits, you know. At the end of the day, we just want to know. You tell us what you think, okay? And we'll see y'all next time.